Do you know Marty Schorr?
Absolutely. I know him well. He was my media contact with Buick for more than 20 years, and he took me on one of the most exciting. It wasn't even a press introduction. It was a fantastic program that they put on at Phoenix International Raceway, which was not a new model rollout, but it was just a recognition of what they've done they had done in both production cars and motorsports with the turbocharged V6. I got to drive one of the last Buick GNXs ever built. At the same event, I got to get taken on a lap around the track in a Grand National with Jim Crawford, who once held the track record in Indianapolis. And I also got taken down the pit lane in a super stock, I think, G automatic Grand National driven by Kenny Duttweiler, the master of the turbocharged Buick V6. I'm told there's a photo of me riding in that car in the right seat when it launched, with my head down or my chin down somewhere around the lap belt buckle.
Riding in a passenger seat with a professional driver on a track can be, to me, very hairy. Were you used to it and okay with it? I could never stand it. Like, I'm thinking I'd be braking right now. I'd be braking right now when you're in the passenger seat.
I had never experienced a launch in what was probably close to 1,000 horsepower super stocker with 588 or 620 gears. But I will tell you this, that at a 1 mile track in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, which was directly next door to the 1/2 mile track in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, at the time known as Pennsylvania International Raceway and owned by Roger Penske, I got taken around in an IROC car as a passenger to Rusty Wallace. There was a little bit of a problem. You can only see me from the chest up here. I'm rather large. I wear like a size 46 suit.
Okay.
And I can bench press like a fair amount of weight and things like that. So I'm not svelte by any stretch.
Okay.
Nobody's going to mix me up with one of the gymnasts in Tokyo right now. That said, I get into the car. I climb in through the passenger window because there was no window. They'd taken out. It's an IROC. At that point, they were probably still Camaros. They hadn't switched to Dodge yet. And I climb into the car, and Rusty's in the seat just looking at me. And the person who had ridden in it before me was a very diminutive young female TV reporter from one of the Allentown stations. And I couldn't get the belts around me. I couldn't do it. I mean, they were like 4 or 5 inches short. I mean, somebody would have had taken a machete to me to get them to fit. So I just look over at Rusty, and he looks over at me, and I said, you know what? I said, just go. I trust you. I said, let's go fast. And he did. He gave me like 7 laps, each one deep and braking more deeply than the other, which at that track was kind of a challenge because Nazareth was actually a 5-cornered oval that ran uphill and downhill pretty severely. And it had originally been a dirt track that measured 1 1/8 miles to the lap. After it went bankrupt, Roger bought it, so he had a place to test his Indy cars. And they had a lot of good races there under his tutelage and also under NASCAR's tutelage. But I was dumb enough to get in the car and tell Rusty Wallace, yeah, go out and scare me, man.
Did you get scared or not? I mean, even though you're trying to be cool or intellectually you understand that he's a professional, but I mean, do you get scared?
My credo is you only die once, so who cares? You can only get hurt for so long.
This has been Jeff Stearns, Connected Through Cars.